Hi guys, how are we doing?
Hi guys, hope you're all well.
Welcome to this week's episode of Baz Sunny Real Talk.
Hi.
You love your hand actions, don't you?
I do, yeah. I don't know, I do a lot of hand actions.
You do a lot of actions. Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about our franchise business.
Before we talk about that, let's talk about this.
Oh yeah, God, I forgot I was holding it.
Hello. Boom.
Boom.
Yes, front page.
Boom.
Happy days.
We are so proud to be on
Gassed.
the front cover
So
of
gassed.
Business Insider magazine.
It's massive.
It's actually a madness. It's crazy.
We have front cover. There's a 3-page spread on us, isn't it?
2-page spread.
2-page spread on us. Double spread. Literally, there you go. Boom. Front cover of the Business Insider magazine. This is an accomplishment.
We've been in a lot of newspapers, magazines. We've been in quite a few.
I mean, this is the daddy though, isn't it?
I feel like this is like
Midlands Business Insider.
Proper. Basically, the way this came about is the guy who writes this, Kurt. He contacted us, had a conversation about like Jot Life, and we told him the story. We just had that conversation with him. It was a great conversation. Then about 3 days later, he called us and said he's going to put us on the front cover and told us how to pose. So this was his idea of how to pose.
There's another pose inside. Nice. It was like our wedding photo. I've never been that. I haven't been that close to Sunny in bloody.
We're so close to each other.
2 years.
Honestly. Some of them we had a lot of outtakes which are really funny of this bottle. Our nose was literally touching the bottle.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
Yeah, he told us not to smile, look quite serious, everything. But yeah, it's
come out very well. There's another one there as well. But yeah, that's it. Front page. That's one thing that we're really trying to do as well this year is that celebrate our successes, celebrate our wins, share it, be proud of it. And you know what? Before, like, we wouldn't. We'd be like, oh yeah, no, let's not do that.
I've been in a lot of newspaper articles, even for like desserts. So no, look, I'm not saying like, do you know what I mean? Not like I'm not saying it to gash myself at all. I'm saying it, but I've never.
You should say it to gash yourself.
No, but I've never like made a hoo-ha of it. When really, look, I'm actually bloody well proud.
Yeah, it's been hard work to get to this.
This occasion with us, guys.
That's it. But this leads us on to nicely exactly what that's about. So it isn't just about Jot Life and me and Sunny on front page and obviously us becoming the next billion-dollar business. It is a bit about that, but it's a lot about us as entrepreneurs and where we started, how we grew the franchise business, how we grew everything desserts, and then how we've obviously grown Jot Life in order of sequence.
Entrepreneurs. That's what Kurt, the editor, liked about us. He said he liked our story and he liked our journey as entrepreneurs, and that was good for us to hear what he found interesting about us. He liked how we've done it all together as a couple as well.
You're posing for photo again. Yeah, but that's why we decided this episode, as it is inside the magazine, so to all the people that view it and read the spread, it's Delightful Desserts, everything desserts, then Jot Life. So we're going to talk today about Delightful Desserts franchise.
Start off with
I think let's just do it. Our feedback from the last episode was that we were clear, concise and quick and to the point. So what we're going to try and do is be clear, concise and talk about Delightful Desserts franchise, how we knew nothing about a franchise business and grew it from one store, Sunny's idea, which she wanted to be like a little homely, her own little dessert parlour kind of thing. And then we took it all the way to 24 dessert parlours in 3 years across 2 countries.
In my head, the way that when I first thought of the idea, what happened was nothing like what I expected to happen. So I had the idea, we were really excited. Everything to do with Delightful Desserts, from creating the menu, from putting together how to make.
It was so mad, Sunny even saying this idea, because she was like never ever wanting to leave the corporate background. So she was always like, I could never work for myself, I'm not interested in this, I'm not interested in that. And when she said it, I was like literally nearly choked on my cake.
Neither I was shocked as well. I was absolutely shocked. But I literally did it all. The reason I want to share this as well, sorry, before I forget to say this part, is because life is a dream. And I'm not joking, you guys. Like, when I was in that world, when I was working in the shop and I was absorbing everything, it's all new, you kind of feel like it's going to last forever. And like, you don't celebrate the highs, you don't celebrate the mad success that we had during that time, because we just kept pushing the goalposts and wanting to another one. We never kind of stopped and we're like, whoa, have we done this? Or because we just kept pushing the goalposts. And now that business has changed. It's not like now. The business Delightful Desserts now is not like what it was like, what I'm about to tell you 6 years ago. If anything, it's completely different. It's changed a lot. And I feel a bit annoyed at myself for not embracing it more.
I feel very annoyed at ourselves.
Yeah, it was so
many people were telling us we smashed it, but that's where our strive for success overtook our kind of appreciation, I suppose.
Yeah,
about what we've done.
I feel annoyed that I didn't enjoy it as much as I probably could. I did, but I want to do it more. So now this is why going forward, it's a new Sunny and Baz in the sense that I want to appreciate everything. I want to celebrate the wins, and I really want to do
this win like we have today.
People. Hence the net worth group, which obviously we've spoken about before, but we'll touch on again later. So the idea came about. We looked for a premises. I had no idea, neither of us had any idea what we were doing, but it just felt right. And I think what you'll find when you speak to most entrepreneurs, loads of people just go with the flow. You go with your gut, you go with the instinct, and you literally just roll with it. You don't know what you're doing, but you just do it. And that's exactly how we did that business. Found some builders, got them to design the kitchen layout for us, got them to do everything. Even they weren't from that background, they were just domestic builders. Did it all for us, went and did it all up. I'm cutting a long story short here now, but we did it within a very short space of time. Idea was...
It's mad, we were painting the front of the shop on your birthday, do you remember? It's
so
crazy.
The idea was formed in June 2015. We had the shop open and ready to go by December 2015. Absolute novices in this hospitality game, but we did it.
I remember Sunny was there. She literally had like this separate work laptop. She had a work laptop and she had another laptop, and that was just purely Delightful Desserts. And then she designed the logo. We applied for trademarks. She created the menu. I remember it all like yesterday, sitting in front of the fireplace,
everything,
making it all. She's coming out with all these things like Minty Madness Waffle and Malteser Please. All these different names are coming out. I was like, what the hell is this girl on?
Everything was.
Because I was still doing the shop game then as well at the same time.
Everything was done from one laptop, sat on the floor in front of the fireplace at home. I did it all from there, and it's just mad. And then yes, we opened the store. Really, really great. We were extremely busy, more than I ever expected to be. In my head, I was expecting to do all these, I don't know, bake cakes of an evening and bring them into the shop and sell.
That's what she said first. Yeah, I'm going to bake cakes. I'm going to make different ones and all this shit. I was like, what?
It was a different world back then. So the dessert parlour game back then, 6 years ago, was quite new. Not many people knew about it. So we had 40 different flavours of ice cream in our store. We were next to 3 colleges on a busy high street. So a lot of people would come and they'd be like, wow, what's this? Where did you get this idea from? It was a great business to be in at that time. And now, obviously, there's dessert parlours everywhere. But at that time, it was very new. We used to have a lot of long waits at the door. I had to build my resilience up to another level. So obviously I was still learning about dealing with customers, dealing with people. I used to read my reviews like religiously every day on like Facebook reviews was very big then. Facebook was big for us, and if I used to ever have one bad review, I used to like literally beat myself up about it. And I used to cry
over it.
I used to actually cry tears. It was just crazy.
It was madness. It was crazy.
But most of the reviews are really good. It was great. We had a big demand, so that was running for about a year when we had before we opened the next.
Yeah, about 6-7 months. Yeah.
Or about 6-7 months.
Yeah, 7 months.
We had a lot of demand for home delivery. I was quite reluctant to do it from that store because that store was very busy, and I felt like it couldn't do home delivery because we were busy in that store. So we opened a smaller site in like a residential estate for home delivery. That did really well. And then how soon after? And then
from that's it. We decided to look into franchising.
That's when you come on board.
Yeah.
Sorry,
that's when I came on board. So obviously Sunny fell pregnant with Nimran. So I was still doing my stores. I had 10 convenience stores at that point. And the infrastructure that I wanted to create for the convenience stores, I felt like I could apply it to this. So I was like, okay, this is great. I want to really get my teeth stuck into this. And that's when I came up with the idea of franchising. Me and Sunny had a massive hoo-ha.
We did.
Yeah, she didn't speak to me for about a week.
Why he would
Best week ever. Looking back now,
so yeah, we started franchising. So we contacted a franchising company, and we literally went all out with it. Every single franchise exhibition that you could have been in, we were there. Big stand.
Quickly, before that, what made you not?
We were on the front cover of loads of the franchise magazines as well.
Yeah, we were.
Forgot about that.
No, before that. Why did you not want a franchise?
I didn't want a franchise, probably because I don't think I had confidence in myself. Although the shops were doing really well and they were very successful and we were doing great, I felt like I couldn't understand why someone would want to come and basically buy something off me that I've created. I didn't understand it. I was a bit like, well, if
why would anyone be able to do it for us? And then my answer was like, well,
why not?
Why not? Yeah, exactly. I was like, Subway have done it. Yeah, but that Subway, Subway started with one store.
I think that's that's for me, and that's a lesson to anyone who's watching, is have confidence in yourself and never ever compare your journey to someone else's journey. So for me, I look at other brands and I say to Baz, God, they've smashed it, they have, haven't they? Oh, and then you think that there's something different, like, oh, that they've smashed it because there's something different. They're not. Everyone starts off with the same, as the same little business idea that they would have had either sat at home around a dinner table or on holiday or whatever, and then all they've done is worked at it and made it what it is. There's nothing unique or different about their business compared to yours, other than their mindset to just go for it. And that,
I'm telling you, as entrepreneurs, they are going through the same shit you are.
They are.
I'm telling you,
everyone does.
110%.
I genuinely used to think, prior to obviously the experiences we've had since, before speaking to other different entrepreneurs and obviously our different businesses that we've had since, I just used to think that they're not having those problems, they don't have staff issues, they don't have people phoning in sick. Like, you just think it's only you, and you think, but it's not, it really isn't. So don't compare your journey to anyone else, and have true absolute confidence in what you have got, because you have got something good. All you need to do is just have confidence. Everything, what I found, is all about your mindset. If you believe in it, you can make it happen. You
it's
just
so
need to
powerful. Market it, manifest it, write your ambitions out there, and just go and get it. So we literally went from not knowing anything about franchising to learning, researching, getting in front of with franchise lawyers, understanding how exactly the dynamics of a franchise works. I remember reading the profs of and the manuals of Subway to understand exactly how the franchise model works, and then start applying it to ours. Everything is possible. Don't forget, people don't come out of school or like literally get born with suddenly a magic gift to say, okay, well, I'm going to create this business. People go out there and learn. It's all about what you're learning and what you're prepared to do. Are you prepared to put in more than your competition? Are you prepared to put in more than the others to make your dreams come true? And if you are, then the entrepreneurial space is for you.
100%. I can absolutely echo that. Just don't think that no one is born an expert. Everyone starts off exactly the same, and then it's just what they put into it to get to where they want 100%. To be. So have that absolute confidence in yourself and be willing to invest in yourself. And people buy from people. So what we found is that most of our franchisees that came on board, they were coming on board because they liked us as people, and then obviously then the brand was secondary, because you want to get.
That's what was different from our franchise as well, was that we created something. So I turned around to Sunny and said, right, what would you have not been able to do without me? So I had like the vans, I had like the cash and carries, I had like a bit more of the infrastructure and like the support network. And then I was like, well, what could you do? What have we had to do over the last 12 months to create this business that we can put into a manual? And then suddenly we had a franchise. That's it.
All you have to do is look at your business and think, what are all the pitfalls that you haven't enjoyed doing, and how could I make this easy for someone else to do? Simply, that is what a franchise is.
And then how can we support them?
Yes, I hated the fact that I had so many different suppliers, so many different invoices coming in, so many different places to buy things. I hated that I had to experience lots of different negative things from different suppliers. So I tried some really bad cookie dough, for instance, some really bad gelato. And then I tried some excellent ones. So I had to go through lots of different cycles and but till I found the right suppliers that I wanted to work with, the right product that I wanted, and how I wanted the business to look and feel. I had to work on that. And when I finally got everything sorted, I said, what I would really like is one place to do all my ordering, one place to pay my stuff to, because I hate paying lots of different people doing lots of different things. And I'd like to come into the business and have everything set for me. I don't want to have to think, okay, it's Valentine's Day next week, what am I gonna promote for it, or what am I gonna do? I just want someone to do all that for me. We literally ironed all of that out, and then we put it all into a document, and that's what we supplied to our franchisees. It's basically a business in a box.
That's how
we sold it.
100%.
So if anyone is thinking about franchising, that is basically what you need to do. Look at your current business model and have confidence that people just want to go into a business and not have to do all the hard work behind it. They just want.
If anyone wants any information, hit us up. We're more than happy to share some of our experiences and stuff.
Absolutely.
And we can make that happen.
It was fantastic. It was great. We had franchisees from all across the UK. Some absolutely excellent, who are still with us today. Some started off excellent, but we quickly realised, and they quickly realised, that it wasn't for them. Some that we knew that weren't a good fit, and we didn't.
Yeah, we learned stuff along the way. We learned that us trying to put certain people in certain boxes didn't work either. As we said, like everybody, as long as you're willing to learn, you can always execute something. That doesn't mean that you'll always be the best at it. People do have different talents. You know, certain people might be great at accounting, certain people might be great at marketing, certain people might be great at infrastructure and logistics. So I can learn and apply myself to everything, but I also understand where my strengths lie. Sunny understands where her strengths lie, and this is what we're trying to take care of in our business now. So we created the infrastructure, did everything for a certain period of time, and then put the right people in the right places. So I think it's very important that you, once you do start to grow it, to look back and analyse at what you're doing. I think this is one thing that I would have said to myself 6 to 7 years ago, is appreciate what I'm learning, and really kind of be a bit more focused and streamlined about exactly how we want to position it and where we want to get to as well. I mean, that's
and have the right people that fully are behind the brand before you get them, because a lot of people have got a bit of spare cash and they're like, oh yeah, I'll open that, I'll do it on the side. And really, if you're so passionate about it and you've built it from nothing to what it is, you've got to make sure those other people have got the same passion as you. So yeah, we've had a lot of experiences with franchisees, some excellent, some not so excellent. We could give you
some mad stories
about those. Don't want to go into that too much today. We just want to tell you more about the actual franchising model. And would you recommend for other people, if they've got a nice little business and people
See, this is the thing. So when I had my convenience stores, I grew that from 1 store to 10 store in 3 years, and I found that I was making more money from 4 to 5 stores than I was from 10 stores, and the infrastructure, I just couldn't put it in place. Before I knew it, I had like a ridiculous amount of staff, a ridiculous amount of overhead, 10 lots of VAT, 10 lots of accounting, end of year accounts. It was an absolute minefield. And one thing what I hated from that was I don't want to have shitloads of stuff, company-owned stores, and do it all ourselves. What we understood was that there's a need for dessert parlours. We needed to scale it, but I can't be having a shop in Norwich, for example, as I've got now, and be running that and worrying that one day I'm going to get a phone call saying, sorry, I can't make it to work today. That'd become my problem. So I take my hat off to business when I look at businesses like Greg's and stuff, and they're all company-owned with 60,000 employees. I'm thinking, how the hell have you done this? Fair play, amazing infrastructure. However, that wasn't a challenge that we wanted from this. We wanted a quality of life. You know, Sunny was obviously pregnant, and we had the other girls that came on board, and we just had to make it kind of fit and work for us.
Franchising was absolutely the right decision for us in our business. I'm so glad we did it. I'm so glad we experienced it. To say that we're early 30s and we created a franchise model, we had 20.
It was mad. We opened our first store, then from opening our first store to start franchising, and then from franchising to 5 stores within 4 months. 5 stores open in 4 months, remember? Between that and Christmas.
And Baz used to physically go out on the builds for them. So he used to go out and actually build our stores alongside our like little domestic. Remember I said to you, as domestic builders that we had. So they weren't.
I felt like they're too slow, so I was just learning off them and just doing it.
Yes, everyone was very hands-on in the business. Like I said, we were painting.
And then we created our own building team.
Yeah.
I used to have a minibus that went out, and that was
the minibus.
I had an electrician on my books, I had a carpenter on my books, I had all this whole team that used to come to the office, meet. We bought a minibus, we sent the minibus out to jobs, and then one day the minibus had a job. I had a phone call from one of the lads, and like, Baz, the minibus is gone. I was like, what are you on about? And he goes, a bed factory next door set on fire. The mattress or something fell out of the window, landed on the van, burnt the van out. Only van on the whole street that got burnt was ours.
Mad.
And I was like, it was meant to be. Obviously, that was the time for that to go in it. And then the team kind of just collapsed, and he's like, whatever.
That's another thing we've learnt along the way. Certain things, if they happen, you think, shit, whilst it's happened. But then after you always realise it was meant to be, because then we stopped using our in-house team that we'd created, and we just started externally doing it, which is so much better.
And we found that we're bleeding, and when we look back at it, we're actually bleeding money by having an in-house team. So this is what I was saying about like just really looking about it and saying, really kind of focusing on what's good for now and good for like, is it the right thing that I'm doing, and really asking those questions and like really analysing it rather than just getting caught up in it. I think that's something that I'll definitely take forward.
So franchising, the dessert parlour industry has been absolutely great to us. We've loved being in it.
Sorry, before that, I forgot.
However, it's just not the same.
So before about that, we took it abroad.
Yeah, so we got 2. That's what we said. I said we got 2 in Holland.
Yeah, but that was a challenge we haven't spoken about. That challenge.
That was a madness.
That was a madness. So literally, we were out there. I was out there building stores. We were driving bands and ice cream over the border just to be able to make sure we could service them, because we couldn't get stuff there on the right time.
The language barrier.
It was mad. The language barrier. Do you remember
when we went there? We were on the bike.
Yeah, we were on there. There's videos of Sunny's like going around on the bikes and stuff. It's crazy. It was just such an experience. I used to go over there regularly. Like sometimes I used to go there for like the day. I used to fly at like 6 in the morning, I used to land back at 6, 7 p.m. in the evening. So, you know, just literally go there, have the meetings, come back. It was mad. But the life lessons that were learned, and we were actually meant to open 3 stores in Morocco just before lockdown. January 2020, was it 2019 or 2020? Yeah, 2020. Remember, I was in Morocco.
Yeah.
And we were meant to open 3 stores. Had them secured, had the locations. They're meant to become Delightful Desserts, but it just didn't happen. And you know what? I look back at it with such, talking about it now with fond memories.
I do. I've got absolutely.
Even though stressful memories as well, but fond memories.
Yeah. I feel like it's what made us.
Yeah.
So the dessert parlour industry, love it. It's made us what we are. We've got a lot of experiences, so much more that we could share about the dessert parlour industry, because obviously it's taken it's a big part of our life. And then obviously from that we moved on to food service. So the purpose of this vlog today is to talk to you about franchising your business. If anyone wants to franchise it, obviously the things that you should look out for, the franchisees, make sure that they're absolute right fit for your business, because they can make or break you. And we've got stories to tell about them as well. And then just what it is now. So every business has its time. There are businesses that exist now that the best businesses ever that didn't even exist 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So everything has its time. I personally feel like the dessert parlour industry isn't as strong as it was. Well, not personally, I know it's not as strong as it was.
Yeah.
Obviously COVID has had a massive impact on it, because all eatings basically came to a halt for the best part of 2 years. And they're everywhere now. They're not as exclusive as they used to be. So obviously, since we've then moved on into the food service, we've still got some dessert parlours, not as many as we used to have. We're trying to narrow them down. I'm finding
it's mad because the
whole hospitality industry, now that we've experienced a service-led industry.
This is the thing, like, the thing is for us, like, because we've got this going on as well, and we got out of the food service business. The food service business is like there's only 2 of us, and like we've got to really focus and channel our energy. There's still money to be made from dessert parlours. There's great money to be made from. We're still getting inquiries coming through regularly.
We do.
And we're hesitating. We're like, oh my god, we've got 3 people that want to open a Delightful Desserts, and we're like,
and we don't even go to any.
Do we not? Like, should we not? Because we're like so stretched. There's only like so many days and so many hours in a week, and for us, it's really important that we're really now trying to streamline and focus our efforts.
I think what we're going to do now is do what's important for us and our lifestyle. What we like, what we realise what our strengths are, creating products and selling them, but doing it from us. What I really, really hate about Delightful Desserts, my biggest hate about it, is that other people are representing something that we created.
Yes.
So obviously we've got all these shops, but we're not there. We're not there 9 times out of 10. Well, 10 times out of 10 actually, we're never there. I can't remember the last time I actually worked in one of the shops. So we've got other people there working for us. Now, if someone was to call me and say, I went to your shop the other day, my first thought is, oh my god, I hope they had good customer service. I hope that staff member was wearing their apron, their cap. I hope they said hello to them. I hope they're being good. Like, I stress, and you can't control all of that, and we tried to control it. We had area managers in place, we had team leaders, we put a big infrastructure in place, but we learnt a lot of lessons about.
It's one of those that
we burnt a lot.
I think that if we'd stayed in that industry and we hadn't grown into other industries, we probably would have had double the amount of stores now, 110%.
110%.
But it's just like, for us, we always work to a 5-year plan now.
Yeah.
And like we said with Jack Life and stuff, that we're aspiring to become a unicorn business, and that is a cut and shut business for us. We will look to sell it in the next 5 years and get out of that industry. And I truly believe, like, going back to what you were saying, that everything has a time, and you need to value your time and your self-worth against what you're putting your energy and efforts into. If you're looking at a business, like, we could have stayed in the dessert parlour industry for the next 20 years and we would have been extremely successful. But for us as entrepreneurs, we're looking at different things in different spaces. We want to go into different things in 5 years from now. We're already planning for what we want to achieve by the time we're, by the time we're 40 years old.
I want to do something that really excites me, and what excites me is business mentorship, speaking to like-minded entrepreneurs.
Hence the net worth.
Hence the net worth. That for us now is just so exciting, and it's so good because it's us having conversations.
Well, look at the meeting that we had this morning. Obviously, we can't release that yet, but just the energy that we get back, man, is mad, isn't it?
That's the whole point of the network.
It's mad.
So yeah, we'll talk about that separately, but yeah, that's a quick insight into Delightful Desserts, how we grew from 1 store to 24 stores in 3 years. It was a mad 3 years. We've gained more stores, we've lost new stores, we've gained new franchisees, we've lost franchisees, we've closed stores all along the journey. So much stuff has happened. If anyone wants to franchise their business, I strongly recommend that go with your gut and do it, because you have got nothing to lose.
You've only got one chance, you got one life. Go for it, man. JFDI, just go fucking do it.
I think that all drama I'm getting, the more I'm realising what have you.
Don't care what people say. Don't people say, oh yeah, don't care.
Don't
Just
care.
fucking do it.
Even if you do it and your second store doesn't work or it isn't as good as your first store, what have you got to lose other than you've tried it? Just try it, give it a go and see what happens. You might find that it's busier. You might find that you just need to change certain things about the way you operate.
And anything that we can do to help, hit us up. You know, we're more than happy to share knowledge.
We are absolutely,
you know,
happy to
100%. So that's it really. That's the Delight for Desserts franchise.
Yeah.
Next week we'll talk about everything desserts.
And then we'll talk about
Jack Life, yeah, because that's what the article says. If you guys didn't know, guys, we were actually like front cover of the magazine today.
So
just saying.
major.
Yeah.
So major.
So yeah, okay. Literally 2 minutes left now. 3 minutes left. Just sum up. We're speaking about energy. Speaking about what we've been doing. The net worth is absolutely popping off. We've streamlined it. We've actually got the package and stuff together now of exactly what we're offering. We're really kind of streamlining the applicants, really, I suppose, isn't it? And picking the people that we really feel that are going to add value to the next person that we take on and to the other load of people that we all have already taken on. So it's like kind of really creating that community, isn't it?
That's all we're doing, is we're creating a community of people that are going to be the best advocates for each other. That's what we want. We have had so many experiences in business, and sometimes you think, am I the only person that's experiencing this? Is this actually real life? I want people to sit in a room and be like, no, yeah, I have the same thing, or I have that. I just want us to all bounce ideas off each other and be each other's best supporters. And we've got such big plans for this group. Like, the year's worth of plans that we've got are just the tip of the iceberg. So if anyone's on the edge about joining or thinking that they want a little bit more information, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and have a conversation with us, because we're more than happy to answer anyone's questions. The main thing we are looking for is not the size of your business, not the sector of your business, but the fact that you want to develop and you want to grow your network, and not just create contacts but create lifelong.
Just grow your network, grow yourself. Exactly. And we want to learn from you as much as you guys want to learn from
100%.
us. We know that we don't know everything in the world, and we're willing, and we're like sponges, and we want to learn. I mean, we just want to surround ourselves by people that can add value to us, but we know that we've definitely got value to add to other people. And that's what the network is.
And energy is contagious, so I just want lots of it and positive things to happen. So yeah, that's what we're really looking forward to.
That's it. So
that's our next thing. So yeah,
and that's it. So deadline closes for that on the 28th of February. Any questions, please do get in touch. Check out our Instagram page and hit us up on the DMs. They're always open. Besides that, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys had a good insight into the Delight for the franchise and how we scaled it.
Any questions, guys? Like I said, holler at us. We're more than happy to tell you more information about it.
Yep, and that's it. And you should have pause and close and finish poncho. That's it. That's it. All right, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.